check 1, 2. Tell these
Take
rappers
the
I'm
guard.
outside, get them start acting up. Like turning hoes to housewives and cleaning the ratchet up. Do it off from boom back to melody rap. If they gon' put you in the box, then you might as well pack it up. Bars having bars, no cap, I'm Attica, you a precinct. How y'all competing when y'all just decent? Your rhyme efficiency's like logic's ethnicity. Don't tell me how much that you black, cause I don't see it. That's it. Welcome to precinct.
Fuck everybody on the front. When we see you in the finals, bring that same energy, nigga.
Since I've been in the league, I don't think so.
Go ahead. That was my bad.
Oh, okay. Live and direct on your YouTube screen for the final time this regular season. It is your favorite Knicks and Ish panel. Y'all already know the vibe. I am the one and only Parlay Lord, aka Fraz Taz, here in the building, and of course, you already know who with me. The first lady of Knicks and Ish, Mrs. Knicks, is in the building. Let's not forget about the only co-host that we known as the most dangerous Knicks fan, the one and only Cam Rodriguez. Hit me with it. Brow, brow, brow. And special guest tonight on this final episode of the regular season of Knicks and Ish, one of our beloved special guests over here at Knicks and Ish, one and only Dom is in the building. Dom, always a pleasure to have you here on the show. Welcome in, welcome in. Talk to the people.
Always a pleasure to be here, though. So Kev knows I still don't like him, but since Anna asked me to come on, I forgot about how much I
All right, well, we're gonna get into that in a minute. But before we do, y'all already know what it is. Press like for your favorite panel. Sharing as always, Karen. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure your notification bell set to all. You get all notifications when we go live. Yo, guys, game 82. This happened to be against the crosstown rival, Brooklyn Nets.
Hold on, you forgot the shout outs.
Oh, wait, my bad. Is people even here? Hold on. Okay, yeah, y'all here. All right, y'all here today on time. Thank you, yes. What up, cuz? Jimmy J one in the building. Sis, of course, we ain't never gonna forget about you, sis. I know you out here. Somewhere in that crowd is Darlene. Of course, I know she here. Chicago 4-2. What's really good with you? Welcome in. Like I said, if you know you like the content here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, man. Sharing is always caring, man. What was the score tonight? 113 or what? I'm sorry.
105.
All right, I thought I was off. I'm still on point. See, you already know. 113-105. The Brooklyn Nets got swept again for the second season in a row. My people, yeah. Let me hear them good vibes coming from y'all. Let me hear it, sis. Talk to me.
Hold on. So before I go, I gotta play something.
Yeah, I've never lost to the Knicks since I've been in the league. I don't think so. Yeah, so it's always fun playing against them, though.
How about 10 of them losses? How 10 of them losses feel?
10 straight. 10 straight losses. But go ahead, continue.
I mean, it was good to see our bench guys get time. It was good to see what they can do. 27 assists. You know, I'm happy. And always beating Brooklyn is a great thing. Period. I don't care who steps foot on the court. As long as we beat Brooklyn, I'm good. What up, Maul?
Marley Mall. You already know, my guy. Shout out to Marley Mall, the Trust Source Lord in the building. What's popping, man?
I mean, we had a Brooklyn Nets fan try to troll us for a couple of games. Where he at?
Oh yeah, I was expecting him to be here. I bet you he ain't gonna be here. But we're gonna carry on anyway. Dom.
Oh, you know what? The first thing I got to say is thanks for having me again. But I don't think I ever waited for a season to end as much as I waited for this season to end. Serious. I mean, I probably have been disinterested since Game 72. It got so bad that I started worrying about the Yankees more than I was the Knicks, and that's a first time in I don't know how long history. But that being said, and the numbers you put out, and you know what that says? The Twitterverse is going to go crazy now. Oh my God, we should have played these guys since day one, and here we go. Instead of just saying thank you for carrying us through a 51-win season. We appreciate everything you did. Let the ball drop in the floor when we get to the playoffs. No, the narratives have murdered me so much. I hardly have anything to say on Twitter about the Knicks anymore. Sometimes I'll throw a jab here and there at the clowns, but I swear to God, Anna, I have not waited for a season to end the way I did for this one. I didn't care who we was going to play. We could have been playing the Baghdad Bullets, and I wouldn't have gave a damn. I just wanted to end the season and start the playoffs tomorrow. And this, again, this is what I don't like about the play-in garbage. I understand it's a money grab, but now we got to sit around for a week and some change maybe to play our first playoff game. That I don't like. Again, everybody had 82 games to get to 1-8. If you didn't, sorry. See you next year. Drive home safely. And let's start the playoffs on Wednesday. That's how it's always been, guys. And if you could sell me on it's gotten better or different or more interesting, I apologize. Maybe I'm just old school, but I don't know. I just want the playoffs to start, but we got to wait a week. So, and the funny thing is, guys, we got to wait a week, but we already know who we're playing.
Right.
That's weird. That's some weird stuff, fellas, lady. I'm sorry, but I digress. Let my boy Kev, who I can't stand, I keep putting that promo out there. That's my boy. I love him.
Disclaimer.
I love Dom. Listen, man, it is what it is. You know how New York fans are. Back-to-back 50-win seasons. It's the first time in 10 plus years. And they already talking about we got to fire the coach over the summer and bring in and they want Mike Malone. They want Mike Malone as a new coach. But listen, man, I to be honest with you, I'm glad that they gave us a pretty good season. There was a lot of ups and downs throughout the year, but that's expected. Especially from a team, like I keep saying, we've said it on this panel time and time again. A team that's been put together at the last minute. Literally.
Absolute last
You know
right
what I
before
mean?
training camp.
And for you to put a team together at the last minute and still some way, somehow pull out 51 wins is and the way they did it, I mean, you can't be mad at that, bro. You can't be mad at that. This is a start of something. You know what I mean? This is something that you build off of. Now you got these guys. You gotta make some moves. Maybe upgrade the bench a little, but nothing crazy like what these guys say, with these stupid trade talks. Like, bro, the season hasn't even finished and you already talking about trade this guy and get rid of this guy and fire this guy and Leon's on the hot seat. Why is that even a conversation?
The scariest thing, guys, is I kept saying this over and over, especially to our brothers and sisters on the Bleed Blue show and another show I do untitled. Cleveland, their core, 4 to 6 years together. Yes, Donovan Mitchell has been on Cleveland that long. Boston, 5 to 8 years. OKC, Memphis. The list goes on and on. Guys, even Orlando.
Well, asterisk for Porzingis, he's only been there like 2-3.
Their core. Brown and Tatum have been together 7-8 years together. And it took them 7 years to win a ring. The Knicks have now, I can say it, 82 games. 82 games. So, and if you don't think, like Kevin was alluding to, with all the let's change this, let's fix that, that's what was our big mistake 4 years ago. When we had that, I think, second or third, whatever we was, the COVID year, and we lost to Atlanta. We had something going, and they flip-flopped the lineup. Remember? We want offense, so they went out and got Kemba Walker and Evan Fournier. How did that work out? Instead of keeping your nucleus and building upon it like the rest of these teams are doing, to include Mike Malone on Denver, who is now out of a job, we expected miracles in 82. So if we don't run it back, if you don't keep your core, then we're going to keep doing the wheels on the bus go round and round.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see that no more, guys.
I know. I feel you on that. And before I go, shout out to our one and only host here at Knicks and Ish, my good brother T-Time. Please unmute yourself and come and talk to the people, my guy. Come and talk your shit tonight, man.
Yo, what's good?
Yo, what up? What up?
What's going on?
What up, cuz? Yeah,
What up,
cuz? You can say it tonight, for sure. Man, talk your shit.
I'm sorry if I'm talking real low. You know what I mean? I'm at work. But 10 in a row on them bum ass niggas, man. You know what I mean? 10 in a row on them. You know what I mean? It gives me such joy and such pride. I know that to most this was a meaningless game. Not to me. I wanted to go 10 in a row on the Nets so bad. So bad. And it brings me such joy that our G League team came through and handled business. Yeah, that's a fact. Shout out to the guys that was on the end of the bench not getting no PT that came through and got us that 10 win today. I'm super happy. I'm excited for the playoffs. I mean, I caught a little bit of what my guy Dom was saying about running it back and stuff like that. And I also feel like regardless what happens in these playoffs, we need to run it back. Consistency and continuity is key when you want to build a championship. I mean, a championship team, yes, little tweaks can be made, but in my opinion, there shouldn't be no major coaching changes or roster changes moving forward. You know what I mean? And give them at least another year to see what we could do. You know what I mean? But today is a good day. You know what I mean? Today is a good day. I don't care if it was game 82 and nobody really played. Good win. Fuck the Nets. You feel me? Always. I mean, the Russ bucket go in there, handle business. 10 in a row. It's been almost 2 years. It's been, over 2 years? Over 2 years.
Almost 3 years.
Almost 3 years since the Nets beat the Knicks. And it's a great feeling. Great feeling. And I made a little bit of money today. So,
you're not the only one who made a little bit of money today. But I'm going to wait till you're done to get into my time.
I'm leaning to playing gas, right?
Oh, well, before I do get into, that said one bet, because we Knicks fans over here undefeated against Nets fans, and when it comes to betting and winning money, you know what I mean? But let me digress from that for 2 seconds. You know what I mean? And talk about my guy Shamet, Mr. Landry Shamet, man. Let me say this to you, my guy. You've come full circle. I said it a couple of lives ago. I gotta say it again because there's no way that I can't state it enough. You've come full circle since the organization has done right by you and brought you back from your injury, and you are only paying dividends for us now. By us doing right by you, you are paying it forward. And now I'm starting to see the old Landry Shamet come back. The sharpshooter Landry Shamet pop off the screen, hit you with the 3-pointer in your face. The old Landry Shamet who all he got to do is set his feet and be ready for that jumper in the corner for 3. You're starting to see a lot of that. he light him up again tonight, y'all? Did he light him up again tonight?
In the NBA.
Go
I think
ahead.
he was like,
Gets into the paint.
Go ahead,
Shamet
sis.
from the corner.
Show Show it to me again, sis.
Another 3-pointer.
You see him?
He's
Working.
Shamet.
Look.
Another. Delon Wright's in the game. Shamet. Another 3.
One more time.
It's
in.
Shamet.
Show me another one. Look.
That's good.
In rhythm.
Man. I think he hit like 7 threes, right? He was like 7 of 10 or something like that.
Now listen, what you saw on the screen was not faking, was not photoshopped, y'all. He was in rhythm and just in the flow of the game. You see how it comes to him, right? When he's just doing what he normally supposed to do. You out there to shoot, my guy. You're in your lane. Yeah, it's gonna work out for you, buddy boy. This is only a testament to Shamet paying dividends on this New York Knicks bench. And this bench starting to figure it out. Shamet's figured it out. I'm telling you. I know he's figured it out. He's playing at a high level right now. And that's a great thing to see leading into the playoffs, where everybody is always saying, oh, the Knicks bench has been questionable this year, yada, yada, yada. Listen, man, we fine, man. We just fine. 51 wins, and you worried about a first-year team that just been put together to where the only person who need to be re-signed is Mikal Bridges, which he's going to get his money this offseason. I guarantee that. And everybody else is signed for the next 3 to 5. And you got players like Shamet on the bench, Precious on the bench. You even got young guys that developing in the G League. Tyler, Kevin McCullough.
Yo, bro.
Ariel gonna come back strong next year. And don't forget about Moses Brown. Go ahead, Kev. What you need?
And don't forget about Duece.
I ain't forget. He's on the team already. He's not forgotten. Trust me, he's not forgotten.
And you gotta give these guys a lot of credit, even against this team, even against in this game against the Nets. Like when the Nets kept going up and we kept battling to fight back to get the lead back. They didn't let that lead go past a certain point. Every time the Nets went up 8 or went up 10, and the Knicks came back and started dipping in, like they started sorry, I got something in my face, and they started going on their own little run and countering everything the Nets were doing, bro. And shout out to Shamet for keeping us in the game, and Precious. Those guys played a hell of a game today. And that's good going into the playoffs because, at times we're going to need guys like Shamet, Cam Payne. We're going to need guys like motherfucking Duece McBride. I'm not worried about Duece. Duece, I trust Duece. That's my guy. I trust Duece. But, we're going to need guys like Shamet especially who, if I'm not mistaken, it was a stat. I think he's like shooting almost 48% from the 3-point line in the last 10 games, 11 games, or something like that. So, guys need to start looking for him, man, because once he starts knocking down them shots, we're gonna need that against the Pistons.
That number will actually be about 50 now because of his numbers tonight, but at the same token, no, it's exactly what I was saying about Sherman before. Like he's just literally paying dividends on a team where everybody said, "Oh, you guys don't got them shooters like that."
Right.
What?
What? Is it me or is it like this ghost of Jerry West? That 90% of the people that wear the number 44, if they can't do nothing else in basketball, they know how to shoot. I mean, Jerry West set the standard that whoever wore number 44, be careful. Because you better be able to shoot, because maybe I'm just that old school, because Jerry West, to me, was probably one of the greatest shooters in NBA history. Of course, we didn't have the 3-point line. for the youngins out there, check his numbers for the short period of time he played in the NBA, actually. But it just seems coincidentally that if somebody wears 44, Landry Shamet, they always can shoot. They might not do nothing else good in life, but they can shoot. So I don't think we have to work. Here's the funny thing, Rod. They kept complaining about the Knicks bench with all the injuries we had from day one. How the hell did we win 51 games without having some sort of bench?
This is what I'm saying.
That's weird.
This is what I'm saying. And I'm glad you segued into my point that I was trying to make anyway. It's like, everybody, a lot of these Knicks fans complain so much about these injuries. Certain games you complain about, we're 0-10 against the elite. We still won 51 games. We're still third seed. And let's not forget, I could point out a number of teams in history, right? We can go back. I can point out a number of teams in history that got swept in the regular season by a team and ended up sweeping the team in the NBA Finals.
The Knicks,
right? Here, no, I'm gonna give you the illest example of all. No, let me give you the illest example of all. The '95 Houston Rockets. I'm done.
Let's talk about it. Atlanta. Remember?
Yes.
Yes, we can go back. We can go back 3 seasons.
Yeah.
The Knicks swept Atlanta in the regular season and got gentlemen swept by Trae Young.
Exactly. Yes.
So, at the end of the day, it proves my point that just because you lose to a team in the regular season, it does not mean that you can't beat them in the playoff series. Remember, you're not playing teams off back-to-backs. We played Cleveland twice off of back-to-backs.
But don't forget.
And unhealthy.
Yeah.
There you go. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Anna, yes.
Thank you.
I left the door open purposely for her to say that because I knew she would.
We haven't played Boston or Cleveland healthy.
No.
Healthy. Thank you.
No, not even Oklahoma City. We played them healthy.
Nope.
You know what I mean? But nobody ever. You see, it's only benefit when we play other teams that have injuries. When other teams have key guys out. When if we play the Bucks and Dame don't play and Giannis don't play and we beat them, it's you only won because Giannis and Dame didn't play. But when it's the opposite and it's us. This is ridiculous, and we get all this criticism. Is the hypocrisy is crazy to me, bro.
You know what I'm saying? It's okay when they do it. It's a problem when I do it.
Great segue. As Franz would say, great segue, Kev, because nobody's talking about Milwaukee.
Right.
0-10 against the 3 best teams in the NBA, just like us.
Right.
But again, here's the funny thing, guys. We're 0-10. Granted, we should have showed we could beat the better teams. I get it. I do. Right. But we still got 51 wins. We still had the 5th best record in the NBA. With that being said, we're 0-10 against these people, and we still got 51 wins. So let's say we went half. We went halvesies and we were 5-5. We have 56 wins. I know if ifs and ands were pots and pans, the world would be a kitchen. But how did we end up with the 5th best record in the NBA?
Right.
I'm just asking. I don't want to mess up your show. I'm just asking the question.
No,
all of this narrative shit, excuse my French, and we still ended up with the 5th best record.
We curse over here, my guy. What are you talking about?
Saying, sometimes
we curse over here, my guy. You can curse, bro.
To answer that. If somebody's watching that's anti-Nick and they want to tweet it and text it and say how we did this, I would be amazed to find out the injuries, to going 0-10 against the top 3 teams. And we had the 5th best record in the NBA.
Right. Absolutely.
I thought you were going to say something, sis.
And
okay.
And I feel like, all that 0-10 shit aside, it's still a level that we ain't even turned up to yet. You know what I mean? Like, I still feel like it's a level that this team has, especially on the intensity side of the bat. Like, the intensity side, like, we didn't even reach our zenith yet on that, and I feel like coming down the stretch, we kind of knew we was going to be a lock for 3rd and kind of like coasted our way into the playoffs. instead of focus on winning, we're gonna see if we can get JB back in the rhythm because we need him back in rhythm for the
Right.
playoff. Because the game against the Pistons, that second half looked like was more about getting JB reps than it was winning the game, right? Like because everything look at everything we did in the first half of that game against the last game against the Pistons, the ball movement, the defense that we was playing. And in the second half, it went back to let's get JB the ball. We're gonna move out the way. You know what I mean? And it just really felt like, all right, we're just gonna get JB back in the rhythm versus us actively trying to win that basketball game. I do believe we tried to win the games against Boston and Cleveland, though, for sure.
Yo, bro, you know what a lot of people don't talk about? The record of the Knicks without Jalen Brunson.
Mm.
The 10-6 record. The 16
Facts.
games that we played without our starting point guard, we went 10-6. Our
But
season was supposed to be over after that.
there's a sad part to that too, though, Kev, because the Knicks went from 17th ranked in defense to 7th.
Right.
Yeah.
Since Mitch came
And
back.
I hate to bring this up because it has to be identified.
Right.
I haven't seen a team in the NBA in a long time that you're taking your two best offensive players out for defensive purposes. That's Towns and Brunson. Now, as long as they can finagle this, like come out, come in, come out, come in, like a rotating that quick basis.
Yeah.
It's strange that we have to do this because, again, as a Knicks fan, they are probably two of the worst defensive players in Western civilization history. They just happen to be on our team, so we don't want to mention it. But the numbers show how much better we got defensively when Brunson went out. To counter that, and Robinson came back. So there was two double-edged swords to that break in the action that Brunson had. But we know as Knicks fans, guys, we can tell the truth. We know they're not the two best defensive players. But as long as Tibbs can say
the worst.
Right, as long as Tibbs can say, okay, Anna, come out, and then boom, you're back in the next play or a play later, I'm good with that. Because as long as we can do that and not skip a beat, we should be fine. But at the end of the day, they got to tighten up.
I agree. Especially with the behind the arc defense. Like that gotta get gotta get like this week. Like I feel like with this week that we have off, it should be a lot of film watching of protecting the perimeter. Because if you cannot protect the perimeter against, Malik Beasley, because Fraz always talks about it, Malik Beasley kills us from behind the arc. You know what I mean? So we gotta watch out for him. We gotta watch out for what you call it, the
as long as I'm not saying the names.
Oh my God! What's it? Jesus Christ! Cade Cunningham. Thank you. Wow. But yeah, like Detroit could shoot the three. You still got Tim Hardaway. You still got some guys there that could shoot the 3-point line. So the Knicks gotta really, really tighten up when it comes to that.
So here's the thing. This is my little observation when it comes to the Knicks defense, especially the 3-point defense. There's two things that hurts our 3-point defense. Number one, cat and drop coverage.
Oh my God.
Cat and drop coverage is the most abysmal thing I've ever seen on the basketball court. I don't want to say it like it's a lack of effort for Cat. I think the intent is there. It's just he has poor defensive instincts. And the automatic switching at times. Teams are mismatch hunting, especially when you got a player like Cade Cunningham, who's 6'6" point guard. He's going to go for the mismatch against the Jalen Brunson. You know what I mean? Or you play a team like the Boston Celtics. Even though down like in certain stretches in that last game, Mikal did a great job. It's still a tough matchup for Mikal versus Tatum because Tatum is just so much stronger than he is. You know what I mean? He can literally move Mikal to the spot that he want him to be, and he can shoot the ball. So that's another thing too, because now when you have that mismatch, either the person is driving past the defender on the mismatch and puts our defense in the rotations, right? Or you got to send some help because of the mismatch and the defenders being overpowered. Yeah, I mean, if we could clean up those two things, and again to refer to the Boston Celtics game, when they stopped switching and OG just stuck to Jason Tatum, it was different. That's how we was able to get back into the game. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's gonna be something that's crucial when we play the Pistons. I want OG Anunoby guarding Cade Cunningham. Cut that water off from the rip, from the muscle, as they say. We gonna cut that water off from the muscle and don't easily switch. I understand sometimes switching is a necessity. You get hit by a good screen, you gotta switch. But sometimes we automatic switch with no resistance. You know what I mean? And if we get cat out of let them force them to drive past you. 2 points is less than 3 every time. You feel me? Like, so if we could fix those two things, I think that helps our defense. I would love, I would absolutely, but I know it's not going to happen because we are short-handed on 7-footers because of the Hook Purdy injury. I would love us to start Mitch and Cat at the same time to shore up our
I would
interior
love that.
defense.
That's what I'm dying to see, bro.
Because that's another weak point of our defense. No rim protection because Cat is not that. You know what I mean? So I would love to see that, but I doubt it because we need a 7-footer coming off the bench. You know what I mean? Like, so
I'm I,
yeah, Cap.
I feel like people be sleeping on Precious though. You know, it's not like I get it that what's that kid's name? Jalen Duran. He's a good player, but I feel like Precious, he gets slept on a lot. You can still play him at the 5 if needed, if need be.
I think against Detroit, we might be able to get over having him play the 4. Because to what T said, I got a funny feeling the Knicks are going to go with Bridges on Cunningham. Because that does two things. It sort of gives Anunoby a break on offense. I mean, on defense to play better offense. If you got him chasing Cade Cunningham around all day, that's going to take a little wind out of his sails. But if you put Bridges on him, we could live with Bridges scoring 12 to 13 to 14 points. I don't think we could win or live with Anunoby doing that. Because all we need is one slip up from Towns and Brunson, and OG's not, 16, 18, 19. We're done. Let's be honest. We're done. We got that 3-headed monster if used correctly. To T's point, with the Towns thing, I can't understand these guys, fellas and ladies, how somebody could look like Usain Bolt on offense and then look like Arnold Schwarzenegger on defense is a mystery to me. How do you move? How does your body do all of that? But when you're checking somebody, and I have to go back to guys. I said it for 2 years now, a year. There was a reason the Minnesota Timberwolves bankrolled their future to get Rudy Gobert. It's clear to see right now, but that's what leads me to what T was saying. When are we going to try the Robinson Towns thing? I mean, is it worth a shot, guys? I know it's the playoffs, but
I think it's worth a shot, know. And to be honest with you too, to your point about putting McCall on Cade Cunningham, because I was looking at the numbers, the matchup log, and I think that was a pretty good matchup. And Bridges didn't do such a bad job on him in the 4 games that we played against him, bro. I think he shot 8 of 21, in the 4 games that was played. So, that's not a bad matchup.
He's a different kind of point guard, guys.
Yeah,
he's a strong fella.
He is.
Playing point guard. I mean,
I think he's like 6'6" or some shit like
something.
that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty big for
I
a point guard.
I would love to
Pause.
see.
Pause.
Yeah. Hey, yo, that was crazy.
What? I'm just
I
saying.
would love to
Sports
see
police is
the
lurking.
mix. The mix up OG and Mikal defensively on players because just keep on keeping guys honest and giving them different looks. Yeah, I mean, like we have two very capable wing defenders, and I would love to see because that makes people uncomfortable. Like after a while, you kind of get a understanding of what the person in front of you is trying to do defensively. Yeah, I mean, like especially at that level. Yeah, I mean, in a player like Cade Cunningham to keep him uneasy, you got the strength of OG Anunoby that can move you off your
Mm,
spot. Yeah, I mean, you got the agility of the Mikal Bridges. Yeah, I mean, to beat you to the spot. And they play
yeah,
they both really good defenders, but they have different strategies as far as how they defend. You feel me? And I think,
yeah,
especially for a first year playoff player like Cade Cunningham, to keep him honest and mix it up, that'll be tough for him. Yeah, I mean, you're trying to deal with your emotions in the playoffs. Then you got two really talented defenders harassing you all game, and like you said, Dom, it still gives OG that rest he needs to go play offense
mm-hmm.
because he's not following Cade around all game. I'll tell you one thing. We don't need to put nobody really good on Tobias Harris. He's sucking the playoffs. That's a fact. He's sucking the
Yo, I
playoffs.
got the numbers. I got the numbers. Against Mikal Bridges, and it didn't look all that well. when they put Mikal Bridges on him in the games I would play this season, it didn't
It
look
was like
too
what?
good.
Two for what? Two for what, Kev?
I'll tell
Two
you
for
right
what?
now. Hold on, let me go back and check.
It was
I
two for
wrote it
six, two
down.
for seven. I
I
forgot.
wrote it down. Hold on a
We
second.
was talking about it earlier. I remember two for
Yeah,
something.
he was 1 for 6 in 4 games played. He scored 2 points, a turnover, and went 1 for 6 from the field, and went 0 for 3 from the 3-point line against
Dirt.
Mikal Bridges.
Dirt.
Yeah,
And I think us as Knicks fans, we probably saw the last best of Hardaway Jr. his second trip with the Knicks. Let's just keep it a buck. He has not been. And I will say this, guys: if there's ever a time to take advantage of Detroit, it's this year.
I think so.
Because when Jaden Ivey comes back next year, with what they're doing right now, people tend to forget that Jaden Ivey has not played since probably game 3 or something crazy. And they got him coming back.
He's a good player too.
Oh, yes, he is. He was a second or 3 pick, something like that. This kid can
he
play.
was a top. He was a top.
That was going to be their mix. Remember, guys, they were going to have Ivy, Cunningham. These guys were going to be their future for the next who knows how long. They added a couple of pieces, but I tell you what, when this kid comes back, they're going to be. They got the bully guy in Stewart. So they're going to be a good team. Right now, I don't think we should be afraid of them. But I'll tell you what, in the next year or two with the Thompson kid and Ivy coming back, Cunningham getting better.
That's going to be tough.
This is what I said when we started the show, guys. If you run a 2 to 4 year plan with your key players, you're bound to get better. It's just that simple. It's not me saying it. Numbers don't lie. People lie with numbers. Look at the best teams in the league. Tell me how long they've been together. Denver won a ring doing it. Milwaukee won a ring doing it. Boston won a ring doing it. So it's
the
not
Warriors.
like we're making it up. Yeah. I think this, guys, with as good as our front office has been working with us, I think they have to better learn how to manage the vet minimum. Stop waiting to pull the trigger. We should have had Andre Drummond before anybody had Andre Drummond, knowing Mitchell Robinson wasn't going to play for more than half the season. Couldn't we have used an Andre Drummond until Mitchell Robinson got back? I'm just using that as an example, guys. Use that vet minimum because now we're a good team. Team players ain't going to dodge coming to us like they did in the past. Shit, I ain't taking no vet minimum with you, Anna. Y'all suck. But now the tables have turned. The tables have turned, and we can lure some of these guys, man. I mean, that's the only thing I can say about our front office, that they don't do a good job with that. They get good young players, but then again, you got to work them in. They're not NBA ready, first of all. So how are they going to be playoff ready? Like you said, it is no better time for Shamet to become Shamet again than right now.
Exactly.
And I will end with this. For the Knicks fans that are bitching, we were this healthy last year. We're going to the Eastern Conference Finals.
Oh, for
and
sure.
And you're going to bitch about the team now that's been together for 82 games. That's healthy.
Right.
We weren't this healthy last year, folks. We all remember, don't we?
No.
Yeah, I remember having a conversation with y'all, and we were like, "Oh,
we were battered and bruised going into the playoffs, man.
We went to Game 7 and lost people. Brunson, Hart. You know, we just lost.
Bro,
the
4 minutes in. 4 minutes in, OG went down. Man, come on, bro. 4 minutes into Game 7, OG went down.
We lost our season last year due to attrition. Point blank. Period. We had a hell of a team. Again, some might have said run it back, but that being said, we didn't.
Good. Right on time.
Hold on.
Go ahead, T-Time.
Show me the money.
He ain't the only one. That's your man's in them, Breezy. Bandwagon Breezy. I know you hear me. That's your man's in them on the screen. What you got to say to that? Where you at, man? Yo, give him the link so he can pull up on screen so we can hear his excuses. You know what I mean? Where he at, man? Yo, big fan, Breezy, man. Make sure I get my money on Friday, man.
We can't
Make sure I get my money on Friday. On Fridizzle, you heard?
How you say? You're down. For sure we can pick on.
I know, I'm joking.
For sure we can. And especially
Oh no, he deserves this. He deserves this because he's been trolling all season. He's going to get this work tonight. That is
how does anybody troll as a Nets fan in the last 3 years? I don't get that. You got to be a real fan, guy.
And Dom, let me tell you about this guy though. He's a disgruntled Knicks fan.
Oh,
big facts.
We know them.
He's a disgruntled Knicks fan. We got him.
Facts.
We got him. Picture with a Knick hat and everything, smiling real happy. And now you see him with the Nets stuff on, and he looks tired. You know.
But wait, there's more. Not to mention
bags under his eyes, stressed out. You know, he got more gray hair in his beard than he ever had in the picture.
Wait, no, and the trademark vein bulging out of the side of his neck. Of course, you know.
Oh Lord,
no.
Ain't no leave him alone.
You want to hear this?
Getting his work tonight.
You want to hear the best one yet was, we're winning 5 out of 10 championships, and we're gonna run this decade like the Bulls did in the 90s.
No, and then he topped that one. Then he topped that one by saying, what did he say? The Nets are gonna win 45 games this year. Where my 45 games at, man?
Right.
I guess the reason I do it, Kev, is because I have a heart. Because I remember still talking ish when the Knicks won 17 games twice. You know, I was still in it saying it's gonna get better. It's gonna get
Shout out my guy CEO Brown in the building. I see you out there, my boss. You already know what it is.
No, this guy used to throw salt on the wound.
Oh, okay? I bet.
He used to throw salt on the wound against us. It was forget it, man. So every time we get a chance,
you kill him.
You know,
we
destroy him.
Kev, if I may for a second, I remember a certain quote from this said bandwagon Breezy, right? Do you remember when he always used to claim he put a Knick fan in quicksand? It looked like the only person who been in quicksand for the last few seasons has been you and the Nets, Breezy.
So look,
all right.
Yo, Dom, let me tell you how much of a real friend I am, right? So when we was doing the other podcast, I used to warn him about these things that he be saying, sitting right next to him or on the screen. I be telling him that he be tripping. And this year again, I told him, I said, "Yo, bro, you're not making the playoffs. You're probably not gonna make the play-in." And I told him we was gonna sweep him again. And he told me no, and he believed that they was gonna make the playoffs. He said he not going for the play-in. He believed they was gonna make the playoffs. He said that for sure. He promised that the Knicks wasn't going to sweep the Nets again. And I'll be a real friend and be trying to protect his feelings, but he don't want to listen. You feel me? He don't want to listen. And T Time has been right more times than not when it came to the Nets. Even going back to when they got KD and Kyrie, I told them off rip, it's going to end ugly for you. These guys are not going to stay long. They're going to want to leave your team. They're not getting any rings. They're not going to any finals. I told this man all this stuff, right? But he didn't want to believe T Time. You know what I mean? And he lives in fairy tale land. I'm just trying to be a good friend. And I told him not to bet me that the Knicks was going to sweep them again, but he did anyway. So
But you know,
now I have to semi-reluctantly take his money.
Wait, before you do, Dom, you know, and then he had the nerve to come on this set podcast and call me out and want to bet me on this last game that just happened. Of course I'm gonna oblige, Breezy. You ain't want to bet against me yet since I've been betting Nets fans in these groups.
Has he ever been a guest on the
Nets
show?
Fan.
Has he ever been on this show?
No.
Oh, okay. But that was him that chimed in earlier on the screen, wasn't it?
We don't.
He's still here.
We don't bring back. We don't. No. Listen, no disgruntled Knicks fans is allowed back on the show. Just disgruntled Knicks fan, you don't have that right.
But wait, there's more. Hey Breezy, remember one thing, right? Go ahead, get your therapy session ready, and go ahead, get your campfire right, and start singing Kumbaya with the rest of the Nets fans, and host your therapy session, all right? Because at the end of the day, that's all you're gonna be doing for quite some time in the next few years. So get used to it.
I actually feel sorry for them because they've won too many games to even get a good lottery ball.
Now, I mean, and do me a favor, make sure you make a better bet when you come to betting cats like me and T-Time. You just be giving away. You just want to give away the money. You get $5, T-Time, and you get $5, Brad. Yeah, we'll gladly take it.
Yo, Dom,
yes, sir.
That right. The Nets can't even tank right. That's crazy.
I just looked it up. I think they're the 6th worst team, so it's not that bad.
How you
they got
know what that means,
they
right?
got like a 38-point chance, 38% per chance of getting into the lottery.
That's what I was thinking. They won two. They're so, like G would say, they're so stupid. They didn't know how to lose right.
But wait, there's more.
They got 4 first-round picks.
And
I'm glad you just brought up them first-round picks. Well, guess what? A few of those ain't manifesting. You see where Milwaukee finished, right?
Mm-hmm.
You see where Detroit finished, right?
Yeah. I'm the wrong guy to bring up draft picks because I don't believe in the draft. I mean, yes, you catch lightning.
The only pick that may even give them any kind of value is that Dallas pick. And guess what? That ain't even really up there.
They made the play-in.
But that's why I'm saying the pick is not even up there. And you just made the point for me. Their pick is not even up there. So you know what that means for them, right?
Yeah. and to that point, Fries, this is why I don't care.
Fries,
when
I can
people
tell
say
you what it means for them. 14 losses in a row to the Knicks.
Big facts. Yeah. Big facts. Exactly. You're absolutely
next season they're getting swept again.
Facts.
This is why I couldn't stand the narrative of all the draft picks for Bridges. Anybody with common sense that knows basketball knows the better you get, which we are, and we're going to, the worse those picks become. So if
But
you got a chance to get a part that you want and you need, you got to sacrifice the children. Somebody got to sacrifice. We're talking about some junior high school kid to be named later, and we're getting up in arms about that. Get out of here. There's going to be a 26th pick.
See, you're right, because it's from the original team who had the pick originally, right? Because of all the contract stipulations, whatever, right? So none of them teams did bad in a way, except Dallas, which still landed in the spot for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Which means them picks that we gave the Nets, Breezy, and I hope you hear me loud and clear, Breezy, all right? Because you need to learn this too, buddy boy. Them picks you got from us, from Mikal Bridges, ain't gonna be nothing too crazy. So I don't know why you was up in arms of wanting to get rid of Mikal Bridges when you should want to kept him. You see, you had the wrong idea about Ben Simmons and now Mikal Bridges. Oh, Ben Simmons could have won the yellow brick road. And then you turned out to be an advocate for him, right? You advocated for him after all that, right? Now all of a sudden you turn coat on Mikal Bridges. This is kind of karma for you, my friend Breezy. You know why? Because look, that after that trade, the Knicks have gotten better with the trade, right? And y'all ain't even gonna get maybe get a second round pick out of them picks. So guess what, Breezy? Learn about these things before you start talking smack, right, my guy? Oh, and by the way, stop being scared of your one-on-one against Faz, all right? Because everybody on here knows you can't beat me, all right? And I'm gonna land my plane right
Do y'all
there.
realize there's 11 teams with a worse record than the Dallas Mavericks? After all they went through,
crazy, right?
There's 11 teams in the NBA that have a worse record than them. That's insane, for real. I mean, I'm not no Mavericks fan, you know that, but
you're stating facts.
Talk. You listen to some of these talking heads. They had Dallas getting ready to be a lottery pick. I mean, it's funny how tables turn. Huh? I mean, oof.
They lost. You know, you trade your franchise player, and you wind up 39 and 43.
Yeah.
Oh wait, I lost.
Still win almost 40 games.
Your young franchise player.
Yeah, that 25, Luka.
And
Kyrie and Kyrie goes down for the season.
And so did Anthony Davis. Remember his first game?
Yeah.
Oh, but I think Anthony Davis came back though. He's
he came back.
He went down.
But he's right though.
Oh yeah,
right.
No, right. Yeah, he
without
did. Right.
And Kyrie.
Right. Absolutely.
I'll tell you what, guys. Something's going to come out about that trade somewhere down the road.
Wait, my bad. There's one more thing I wanted to say. Hey, Breezy, I want to see the video again. The Knicks made the second round, and you got swept again.
Oh, man.
Again. And we done with this guy. Get him out of here.
I like the way he hangs in there, though. I mean, he don't go high, does he?
Listen, that's because he can't. Yo, he likes to embarrass himself.
He's a fan, I guess. I tell you what, guys, when January would come around, not that long ago in a distant land, when January would come around, I was talking about pitchers and catches. Because I knew the Knicks were done. I was talking about damn pitchers and catchers to be here in a couple of weeks. Let me switch to baseball in January. So that has changed. So I'm happy, guys. Trust me. Every little thing we do right now, come on, fellas. Everyone on this line has been there, done that. And if you can't see the progression that we've made, then shame on you. And then I'm not telling somebody how to fan. But I just can't get into the anti-Nick fans. If that makes sense. That makes sense what I'm saying, the anti-Nick fans. How do you root for success but hate the coach and hate a player and hate a trade, and then call yourself a fan. That's, to me, I don't know. I'm that get off my lawn guy. I don't know. I'm just
and hate change
sad.
at that, because at the end of the day, we've made changes that have put us in a better position. So it's like, how can you hate the change? And then you get mad once we bring in the better players, and it's like, okay, you see us doing better, and we still hearing the naysay. Right?
So here's my theory on that, right? Especially when we're talking about the X platform, right? Twitter. That's all about their brand. You feel me?
Yeah, if that's what they call it, yeah.
A lot of people, a lot of Knicks fans have made it their brand to talk down on the squad. Like that's their thing. You feel me? That's their claim to fame. They're haters, and that's what usually gets the most traction. You know, negativity. Yeah, I mean, usually draws more attention than positivity, right? So,
Right.
they feed off of that, and that's all they got. You feel me? And kudos to them if it's working. I guess if that's the kind of eyes you want on you, but you can't. I agree with Dom. You can't really say you a fan if everything you say about the team is negative. Like you don't have. There's no bright spots. You feel me? There's no bright spots. So you mean to tell me you're a fan of the franchise that hasn't made that went almost 10 years without making the playoffs, right? Hasn't have a 50-win back-to-back season in 30 years, and you're not. I won't say satisfied, but you're not happy,
right?
Since 91,
91, 92. Yeah,
you're not.
I ain't mistaken.
You're not jubilated by that. You feel me? Like again, I can't be satisfied because obviously the main goal is a championship. But you mean to tell me you don't find no joy in that? Oh, that's not good enough? That's crazy talk. We watched this team before Coach Tommy T get here win 17 games, as Dom alluded to. Twice.
Yeah.
17 games. And I watched every last one of those games, dog.
Yes,
It was rough. And some people say it was tough shit.
I try not to remember that.
But see, that's the thing. This is.
Hold on, I'm gonna land the plane real quick.
I'm sorry.
So when I'm being Mr. Super Positivity about what this team and where this team can go, how can you even fix your face to look down on fans like us and when we know where we came from? But everybody, even those negative fans, they want success to be built overnight, and that's not how it works. Consistency and continuity. That's what this franchise needs. Stability. We just had even though we won 50 wins, this still was a major roster turnaround in the offseason.
Yeah.
How do you not run that back? And we still top 10 in offense and defense. No, not defense, offense. You know what I mean? We still top 10 in offense. Top 5. If we still top 5, I can't remember. But
and in defense, we 12.
We went out.
I'm sorry.
We went from 17 to 12.
13. We 13.
13.
Yeah.
13.
That's what I'm saying. Now, why won't we keep this team together and regardless of what happened and see what we could do next year? Some minor tweaks, obviously. You know what I mean? But see what a healthy, from the beginning, a team that's healthy from beginning to end, see what they could do. You know what I mean? I'll end the plane there.
You guys remember we re-signed is Bridges.
Yeah. You remember when we used to have the records, when they had the big single on the album and they had like the A side and the B side? It was just the long version. Well, that's how Knicks fans are now. They flip to the B side of the record. When you say what T said, and we've said a million times, we've seen our team win 17 seasons. Their comeback again, they flipped the record over. Their B comeback is, well, y'all keep talking about when y'all won 17. How the hell can you forget that as a fan? That
right.
The most horriblest thing we ever experienced. Do you realize the first time the Knicks lost 65 games, they were in existence for 70 years. And we never lost that many games in 70 years. And then we did it twice. And you want me to forget that? You must be drinking some serious shit if you think I'm gonna forget a 17-win season.
So
and
you
then
want
you
your
do
team?
it, and then you do it twice? No, man, I can't forget that. I'm sorry, man. No.
To be honest with you though, go get it. Go get it. 550. I want to see Bridges stay here long term. You know, I mean, we gave up what we gave up for him, and I think that I mean he did well in his first season. You know, he did well in his first season. You know what I mean? And I want to see him stay here for a minute. He's not a bad player. You know,
What do we want?
Right.
Fans are killing me. They're killing me. They're killing me.
Yeah,
Guys,
like I don't want to see Bridges go. I don't. I want to see him stay here. I want to see him stay with the Knicks. And you know, the most important thing to me is when you hear him, right? When you hear him and they ask him, "Yo, what is your favorite place to play in?" He always say Madison Square Garden. The man wants to be here. He lives in Manhattan. So I mean, dude, like, yo, I want to see Mikal here for the long run. I'm hoping he has a great playoffs so he could just kill everybody's narrative. You know what I mean?
I had to give him an alibi for that Mitch move he pulled with the minutes. Because we all know, those that follow this, we know why he did that. It wasn't about him and Tibbs. It was about his boy. Y'all know Landry Shamet is his boy.
Right.
So if I complain about too many minutes, maybe they'll put my buddy in and he'll get some more light. He went about it wrong, guys. I understood why he did it. Friendship is friendship, whatever you say. But look at the Knicks team, guys. We got Josh Hart, who on a good team would be an offensively challenged individual. But our starting five is averaging 100 points a night.
Yo.
113, I think.
Who's doing that, guys? I'm
bro.
just going even, Kev. 100 points. What team is doing that?
Only a few teams better than us.
Two things, right? To Dom's point earlier about, you know, the previous Knicks at 17 wins. I had to root for Alexei Shev, bro. Yeah, I mean, I had to root for that man. So I'm not. Don't complain to me about no Mikal Bridges, dog. Don't complain to me about no Josh Hart. I'm not trying to.
I'm done.
And my thing is the money that these people be complaining about that they get. Like, I remember when Josh Hart was offered the 4 years, $80 million. Oh, well, how we giving a bench player that kind of money? That's ridiculous. Why are we overplaying? And look at the kind of production we got from Josh Hart.
One more thing. And when you talk about Mikal Bridges, you talking about the fourth option offensively. You know what I mean? You're talking about the fourth option who averaged almost 18 points a game, shot 50% from the field and 35 from three. You know what I mean?
And is defending the second best player on every team.
And had a career high. Hold on, and had a career high in assists this season. So, don't talk to me about Mikal Bridges. Don't talk to me like Don said that them junior high school kids. Yeah, Mikal had a great year. Not a great year. He had a good year at his role. And we saw flashes of what he could be if he come back next year and we keep this team consistent.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
In back-to-back wins, guys. Speaking of Mikal Bridges, y'all remember it was against Atlanta and I forgot who
Memphis.
No, who's that Vukovic play for?
Bulls.
The Bulls, yeah. Remember the game?
Oh, yeah, yes.
Mikal Bridges runs down a point guard to deflect his shot to win a game.
Yeah.
The next win, he blocks a 7-footer shot down low to win a game. And we're going to sit here and say, oh, my God, that kid in junior high school 101 in the Bronx is going to be the next Jerry West. Okay. I apologize if I'm that stupid that I can't see what's right before my eyes. For a guy that we didn't think about this, guys, don't bring up the Nets. People will do that. He's been a 3-4 option wherever he was, except the Nets. So, but to have an option like him, guys, even when they was ragging this poor kid, he was still giving us everything he got. And at the end of the day, I'm pretty sure. I think he averaged, 17, 18 points?
18. Yep. Yes, he did.
Through all he's been through this year, guys.
On
Some people would have
50% shooting
folded.
from the field, Dom. On 50% shooting from the field.
Think about that. Playing in New York City, taking that kind of heat. This guy, the normal person would have folded. They'd have folded their tent, went and hid somewhere, had a shitty season. To T's point, he had a great season. Yes, I can say he had a great season. For a 3-4 option, it's a great year. 18 points, shooting this and that from the field, and get out of here. And the defense he plays. Again, people, I'm sorry. What do we really want? Do we want a winner, or do we want to fix a narrative that we've been pushing for 5 years?
Right.
Don't give me that shit. First
just
of all,
so they can say they're right.
When did Twitter become real life? I want somebody to answer that for me. When did
I
Twitter become real life?
Hold on, sis.
Put that bum in the studio.
I am. I'm gonna put him in, but we're not gonna have no screaming. People gotta let people talk. We ain't doing all that.
Who is this?
I'll kick people out.
This Breezy.
Right.
God bless him.
Hello.
What up, Breezy?
See? Bandwagon Breezy. What you got to say to defend your team in this 2-year sweep? What you got to say, man?
Nah, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. I'm gonna pay y'all the money. You know what I'm saying? We lost. It wasn't on the refs. You know what I mean? I'm not blaming nobody. But the game was the game. You know what I'm saying? They lost. The Nets lost that game. You know what I mean? I'm not fitting to lie to y'all about the loss. We lost the game. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But again, I just think it's no coincidence that it started when Mikal Bridges came on the team. You know what I mean? I just feel like he was helping y'all win when he was a Brooklyn Net. You know what I mean? That's it. Besides that, I'm not saying he was in cahoots with those guys. I'm just saying it's just awfully interesting that in the offseason he goes to the Knicks right after that. And, he's just caught smiling and slapping fouls with them after the game, after the last time we lost to them. So I didn't understand what was going on, you know what I mean? But
this is malarkey I'm hearing, bro. This is malarkey, and I'm going to tell you why it's malarkey. One,
you don't even like Mikal Bridges, Breezy.
You got to blame Nick Claxton for talking spicy and capping on top of that. I haven't lost to the Knicks since I've been in the league, which was a cap anyway. You feel me? Big cap. So, and ever since then, he ain't never win a game against the Knicks ever since. And 2, you can't blame Mikal for being traded. That's Sean Marks' fault. The guy that I've been calling a war criminal and telling you he's been a war criminal for the last 3 years is that guy.
What about OG straight up bullied?
I think that you should leave that picture up there while he's on the show.
OG is straight up bully. You want to talk about my GM? OG a bully. He came and got more money than all of them, and y'all ain't even finna give Mikal Bridges that bread when that contract comes.
Hold on. You talking about the same OG Anunoby when Jalen Brunson got hurt was averaging like 29 points a game over a 15-game span when Jalen Brunson got hurt? You talking about that guy, right?
Had 530-point games
and locking up the best player on the teams that we face. You talking about that guy getting the money that he deserved, right? That guy.
I'm just saying, deserve after 26 games. That was the sample size, T-Tom.
But you that's a sample size. It was an important stretch of the season. This is the reason why we in 3rd seed now and didn't drop because of the player OG Anunoby. You know what I mean?
We could have easily dropped the 5th.
I'm almost done.
Go ahead.
And when I talk about Sean Marks being a war criminal, look at the state of your team now from where they were just a couple of years ago. That's all on the strength of Sean Marks. Poor trades, poor signings, Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, war criminal. And when you talk about what you talk about what my front office do, you better put some respect on the boss Don Leon Roll's name, because we went from 17 wins before he got there to back-to-back 50-win seasons. So you can't say the same for Sean Marks. You had to crawl from the shambles. I just got under the shadow of Ben Simmons' bad contract. You gotta relax, homie.
Y'all still giving out free bags in that organization? Y'all still giving them free bags out?
Here's the thing.
Sincerely, y'all was right about the suite, but y'all missed on a lot of stuff. But go ahead.
But here's the thing: people ain't realizing, and not to pick on Breezy, but who did OG? Forget the money for a second. Who did OG Anunoby replace? He replaced a third pick that should have been a 17th pick in any other NBA draft in RJ Barrett. He was never going to be what a number 3 pick should be. We knew it as Knicks fans, but we knew the deck wasn't stacked too high during that draft. After Zion and after John Moran, it was a toss-up. Is it going to be Mr. T, Kev, Dominic, RJ Barrett? And we got RJ Barrett. So we was able to unload RJ Barrett after giving him, he should be thanking us. We gave him a $30 million a year contract, and we sent him home to Toronto. But look what we got in return. I think people miss that part when they just get glued on the money OG got. We got rid of a third pick. We gave, what's his name, his wings to fly, because we knew we weren't going to sign him. What's his name? Achiuwa.
Quickly.
Yeah, we gave him his wings. He got paid. So for everybody to say, OG Anunoby, he ain't the highest paid Knick. Karl Anthony Towns is, and that shit's going to be $61 million in a minute. But that being said, everybody skims over what we got rid of. Tell the truth, guys. I always say this, T. We're Knicks fans, so we can be honest with each other. You think we're going this far with RJ Barrett instead of OG Anunoby?
No, I think it.
I'm just saying, fellas. Ladies. I'm just saying.
Hold on. Let me ask you this, Dom.
Yes, sir.
If the Nets is doing the same thing as far as direction and trajectory as player development, I don't want to call this season a tank season. I know that's a popular word in the basketball world.
Right.
But player development is just getting small contracts from the G League, seeing what's happening with that, and not committing to no big contracts. And for the most part, we got a few players that look like they deserve to be in the NBA. So it's good to see that, just being, a content creator, watching the game, studying the game. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? Anytime we try to build something, they just trade the pieces away.
I got to be honest, Breezy. Hold
on, let me say this. It's not necessarily trade the pieces away. It's trade away expiring contracts. You feel what I'm saying? Schroeder was an expiring contract. Like they're gonna trade him away. You feel what I mean?
I think, Breezy, if you're done, I think that mentality may have worked 5 years ago in the NBA. I don't think that works now, because you'll be caught in the twilight zone for years to come. Because unless you get, like, I'll give you Orlando, for example.
Nah, but hold on. What happened with RJ Barrett? Why y'all?
He wasn't that guy, Breezy. He wasn't that guy.
So hold on. So see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, man. Y'all, because John Moran still with the Grizzlies, Zion still with the Pelicans. He was the third pick. Right. That was out of the top 3 teams. You feel what I'm saying? You look at the top 3 players. I was the first team to trade.
John Moran might get traded this offseason.
Might get kicked out the league.
What are you talking about? Exactly.
I don't know if he get
that being said,
and then don't talk to me about Zion, please.
Right.
He like, when is he gonna?
Again, just to piggyback off of what Breeze is saying, and I said it when we started, in any other draft, he is not a 3 pick. Here's the irony down here in North Carolina. There's everybody to a man that thought the guy we wouldn't keep, Cam Reddish, was better than RJ Barrett. They said that all along. And I'm a UNC alum. So you know we hate Duke. But this guy was supposed to be better than RJ Barrett. But he would never be a number 3 pick in any other draft. So again, it's no knock against RJ. He got his money. We got a better player. And again, I asked the question: are we winning 50 games back to back with RJ Barrett or OG? I'm just asking the questions, guys. I'm not
with RJ on the team. We won 47 games.
Mm-hmm.
That's as far as we got. 47 games.
And remember, everybody will talk about Julius Randle disappearing in that playoff against Atlanta. Where was RJ Barrett?
He disappeared too. Yes,
did he turn into Nate Archibald and we didn't know? Yo,
he did.
So hold on. So you saying a 1-2 duo between RJ and Randle? That's not it.
No.
Y'all couldn't see RJ being a number one or
hell no, Breezy.
So all right. So on the offensive side of the ball, what's his handle? What option is it?
Who? RJ Barrett?
Yeah.
On this team now.
He would be a 4.
No, I'm just saying, like what y'all seen as Knicks fans. Well,
I would give him.
Could y'all ever try to put him at the one position, or y'all just?
We did try to put him. I think we did one time, and that did not work out.
Right. Y'all remember? Y'all remember that year? Everybody was bitching about Russell Westbrook missing so many layups. Remember that conversation was going. But you know who actually missed more point blank shots than Russell Westbrook? RJ Barrett. He could not finish. Come on, again, guys, we're Knicks fans, so we see every game, right? How many bunnies did we see this guy miss? It was disturbing. He could only go one way. He couldn't go right.
Yeah.
Right? Am I missing something?
No. And he still can't. And still can't
go right.
His
jump shot is beyond questionable. And I'm not picking on the guy, people. Trust me. When he was a Knick, I had to defend him. I had to ride with him. But when they got rid of him, I was like, boy, what's the likelihood of getting off a third pick?
and then to add on to that, when we played Toronto, who made the defensive stop against RJ for us to win the game?
Can I say one more thing?
Oh,
I am so tired of these tribute videos. You don't get a video tribute if you ain't win shit. Let's knock this stuff off with all this hugging and kissing and crying and video. If you didn't win a ring or you ain't Patrick Ewing, you ain't getting no damn video tribute. Let's knock that shit off. RJ Barrett come back to the Garden like he's Walt Frazier.
I just want to say. I just want to say this one thing. I'm not gonna hold y'all. You know what I mean?
Hey,
with a third pick, I hope that not for the Brooklyn Nets. I hope we get a pick, and we love our pick if we get a third pick. I don't know if we're gonna get 1, 2, or 3. I ain't finna debate with y'all. I just know that us being locked at the 6th pick because of the record, I don't believe it. Atlanta, they got the first pick and they went to the play-in. It's just a lot of different variables that play into it. So I don't know what pick we're gonna get. We're gonna see May 12th. But I do know, if we get a high draft pick, I don't want to trade him after 3-4 seasons. I want to see him develop into something. Like, I ain't, as a content creator, as a Nets fan, go through all this losing just to get a player we're going to trade in 3 seasons. What?
And it normally works out that. It normally works out that way, Breeze.
But
the average, I don't know, man.
Second season.
Right.
So
let's be honest, guys. The average 3 pick one, again, is not an RJ Barrett. So they normally will stay with a team for, again, Zion Williamson probably has played as many games as me, and he's still got a long-term contract, and he's still in the league. John Moran's been toting more guns than me in my 20 years of military service, and he's still in the league. But RJ Barrett was just different, guys. I'm sorry. Let me just ask this one question to the Knicks fan. When y'all heard the number 3 pick is RJ Barrett to the New York Knicks, what did you think? Yeah, thank you, Adam.
I
Really?
think, Kev, we was watching that draft together, weren't we?
We sure was.
Me and Kev was excited because I felt at that time he was the best player available.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
But the answer to Big Fan Breezy, with the draft picks, that's the reason why Knicks fans don't really care too much about the picks that we gave you, because we understand we'd rather have somebody that we know what they could do versus have to guess what a player is going to be. You know what I mean? We know we got a two-way player. You know what I mean? That's an Iron Man that's going to be available and is versatile. You know what I mean?
Mitty McCall.
And not only that, it takes like up to 3 to 4 years just to develop a player.
If you're lucky.
We've already went through that.
And like Dom said earlier, you know, the better you get, the worse your picks get. You feel me? We not on a trajectory like the Brooklyn Nets where we rebuilding and have to worry about the draft. We trying to win. You feel me? So there's a difference. So y'all can have those picks because our guys are locked up for that time being that we gave you those picks. We still gonna be in contention that whole entire time.
What I'm getting from Breezy is he should actually be the Knicks GM because I can hear in his voice that the mistakes they made have been detrimental. Am I right?
I ain't saying I should never be the Knicks GM. You know what I'm saying?
Not the Nets. You should be the Nets GM because I can hear in his voice that the moves
if
they
he
made.
becomes the Nets, if he becomes
because he at least identified, I hope, that the moves they made have set them so far back. And again, who called Marks a war criminal? Every move he made was a bad move, guys. Let's just keep it apart.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying he swung and he missed.
A lot of times.
But my thing is, you know, if you're asking me as a content creator how I look at it, you know, I look at it like the basketball gods going to shine a bright light on us. You know what I'm saying? We a team that ain't got no NBA championship. And only thing I'm saying is the basketball gods like karma and integrity is part of it. You know, it's not just skills.
Integrity.
And I'm just saying that to say when you trade a player like Julius Randle,
integrity, bro.
I gave him a school. Then you know what I'm saying? I don't understand that. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. And on that note, like I said, I just wanted to pull up to say that I'm gonna pay T-Time and Fries, and I'm looking forward to September because I'm getting ready. I ran a marathon today. And on top of that, like I said, I'm not here to stir the pot, but remember, this entire time I'm listening to the soliloquies. I know that it's 3-1. Detroit Pistons going into the playoffs. So just
the only one who got soliloquies is you, Solomon.
Wait a minute. Cannot. I'm sorry, but I remember a so-called person used to tell us when it's time for us to be in the playoffs, if you don't make the playoffs, you have no reason to talk here. That's what we was told at one time.
Absolute fact.
Yo, Kev, the term, the phrase was, how you gonna hate from outside the playoffs? You can't even get in.
Right.
Right. You know what? Too bad Breeze left because just now the Jazz, the Wizards, and the Hornets finished season with the highest chance to win the number 1 pick.
Wow. Yep.
You didn't hear them mention the Nets, did you? So even if they get up to his point, to Breeze's point, even with all the hiccups they made, if I was a Net fan, I'd be happy to get a 5-6 pick. For real. I'm not saying that.
You know what's gonna happen, Dom? You know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. They're gonna mortgage all them picks to Milwaukee for Giannis.
No, I think they would kill Marks before. Please don't take that literally, people. I think it's like ironic how this guy in Dallas is taking all the heat for the Doncic trade. How come nobody's saying where was the owner? They're killing this poor GM or whoever he was, president of basketball operations. Didn't he have to run that through the owner?
For sure.
It makes it sound like this dude woke up in the morning and said, "You know what, Kev? We're gonna trade Anna to the Knicks." Like you don't go through the owner no more. The owner's getting a serious get out of jail free card, man. I'm telling you.
The owner's
What up, Wilton? What up, Wilton? Salute.
What up, Wilton?
The owners out here were mad because they bought their part with hopes of building
a casino. Yes.
And
you
it's
live in
illegal
Dallas,
to gamble in Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Breezy, by the way, when you refer to Mikal Bridges, his name is Manhattan Bridges, aka Mini Mikal to you.
Get it right. No, listen, man. You know, this is get back for everything he did to us.
I can't believe.
Go ahead, T-Town. Go ahead.
I can't believe Breezy tried to do a Uno reverse after I called Sean Marks a war criminal on the boss Don Leon Rose. I ain't like that.
Nah, man.
5
5 championship in 10 years. I remember that shit, boy.
It's crazy.
I still got the video. I still got that video clip.
He said, and I quote, "We're going to win 5 titles in 10 years like the Bulls did in the 90s." Nasty work, my God. Nasty work, bro.
You gotta give him some credit, guys. He ain't hiding, is he? I mean, y'all
No. Listen, I'll give him that much. I'll give him that. Listen, I'll give him that much credit. But we always gotta like cook him up.
Bring him back to reality.
And once we cook them up, we got to make sure it's like extra crispy.
Oh, God.
You know? Get the wok, T-Time. Get the wok.
And you know what's even more crazy, right? Because now, I'm replaying what he was saying in my head. And then, no, he didn't try to pocket watch OG. Remember when he was trying to call us the pocket watchers?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
They were trying to call us the pocket watchers.
Yeah, man.
And then he's going to turn around and try to pocket watch.
If the Nets had the opportunity to get him, they would have took him.
Right.
Oh, please.
Right.
Please.
Right.
But then they would have lost him because you think he would really re-sign with the Nets. That's what helped the Knicks. That's what actually helped the Knicks. I mean, other than us getting off of RJ, you had the option to try to convince this guy that this is where you need to be. Don't forget, guys, he was up. We got him on the, oh, my God, I hope we get to keep him. But that being said, we did. I mean, did we overpay for him in today's NBA? I would say no. You know, it's the going rate. I mean, this kid is young. He's a two-way player. And I'll tell you what, he's showing more offense than a lot of people, I think, expected.
Myself included.
And bro, we gave up RJ Barrett, Emmanuel Quickly, and a 2nd-round pick.
And we didn't really give up quickly. I mean, I know we did. But again, we did him a solid because when we got Brunson, we weren't signing him.
Yeah.
No,
so
that's a fact.
We
that's
actually gave him up in the hopes, I guess, for him that one, either Toronto would pay him or he'd test the market. So why test the market as a Knick when you know you're going to leave? So we got something.
He wanted to be a starter.
Right. And you know how it always goes, guys. If you don't trade Anna now and she walks as a free agent, we get nothing.
Yeah.
So we actually gave RJ his money, gave Quickly his heir, and we got Anunoby. And we had to re-sign him. And we took a spot on him because he was hurt damn near half the season last year. Yeah. And what was the knock on this guy? He hasn't played 60 games since Moses parted the Red Sea. All the different stories we heard about him. But guess what? How many games did he play this year? I don't want to look it up. I bet it was in the 70s.
He played over 70 for sure.
So that flyer we took on him
74
was better than the flyer we took on getting RJ Barrett as a 3 pick.
But that's just 74 games this season.
That's just me.
And the crazy part is, like, it wasn't even a gamble on if he was going to resign, because remember the story was that he fired his agent because they had conflicts with the Knicks organization, so he can resign with the Knicks.
Right.
You feel me? So we knew, and that's why I feel about Mikal too. Like when people are like, "Oh, are we gonna pay Mikal? We're not gonna give Mikal the money." We don't sacrifice all those assets without being sure that he's going to resign with the New York Knicks. Now, I think this is a place that he wants to be. He's playing with his closest friends. And you're playing for a winner. You know what I mean? Like, you're playing for a winning organization, and you're playing with your closest friends. You're playing in a city that you love, in an arena that you love. I think that not only does he sign, I think we get a favorable contract from him as well.
Yeah, but I will say this, guys, that if Leon Rose and them didn't get a little teeny weeny hoodwinked with the Julius Randle trade, because the way the story goes, Minnesota was backstepping. They wanted Dante DiVincenzo, right? They weren't into just Randle for Cat. They wanted Dante DiVincenzo.
Right.
The Knicks bought for a minute. And I kept thinking, what would the Knicks be like right now if they had Dante DiVincenzo?
Ooh, wow.
Bridges would be playing the 3. Dante would be playing the 2. Hart would be coming off the bench, spearheading that bench.
Yep.
Man, I mean, I know, again, if ifs and ands were pots and pans, I get it. But I swear, if that's the one time Leon Rose got hoodwinked, I got to take the bullet for him, because he's done such a good job throughout his tenure here with the Knicks that I can't really just throw him under the bus for that one move. But I keep thinking back, Anna, if we had Dante right now, man, you know how that floor would be opened up for Bridges and Anunoby? Because Karl Anthony Towns shooting 3, DiVincenzo shooting 3, Anunoby and Bridges would be running wild right now.
But Dom, I feel like the Landry Shamet signing was a great pivot from Dante. Yeah,
not as good though, T.
But we only saying that because it took Landry a long time to get back in the rhythm after he hurt his shoulder. If you remember how he came out in the preseason, he was hot, and I was like, "Yo, I'm not saying it's the same. That's right. Let's get that clear. I'm not saying it's the same. I said it was a good pivot. You know what I mean? Like, you get a similar player. He doesn't have the defensive intensity and the same level of toughness as a Dante. But when you talk about 3-point shooting, it ain't that far off when Landry Shamet is in the rhythm. We seeing that now, right? So I think it was a great pivot. We lost Dante. All right, Landry Shamet can give us something similar, and I think that was a great pivot. And going into the playoffs, you're going to see how valuable Shamet is going to be, because if he's shooting how he's shooting right now in the playoffs, everybody's in trouble. Everybody's in trouble. You got somebody coming off the bench that's shooting like that, but it is up to us. And even in tonight's game, it was a point where I was getting upset with Precious, because I'm like, yo, Shamet is on fire. What we doing? Get him to rock, right? Why are you trying to lay up the ball over Nick Claxton, who's a really good defender? You trying to shoot hook shots over him, and not getting Landry Shamet the ball after he was 5 for 5 at one point from 3-point range. What we doing?
I think he's the odd man out next year. Precious? Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I think so too.
For next year.
Nah, it's only 1 year. Him, Cam Payne, and Shamet are all 1-year deals. I think Shamet's a 1-year deal too.
I think we gave, and I like Precious, don't get me wrong. But every time he shoots, I get nervous. Like, where's it going to end up? In the second row, the bench? I don't know. He's a great hustle player. He does all the little intangibles. But I think at the end of the day, he's the odd man out. I hope we keep Shamet.
But he's also playing out of position.
Yeah, but it's just me. There's something about him that, again, he gives you the hustle. He gives you but I don't know. I'm gonna have to how do I put my camera on? I gotta open it. I can
see us resigning Payne though. I can see it. I just think what he does for the team morale on that level. You know what I mean? Payne.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, everybody's raving how good of a locker room guy he is, and not only do I think this team value what you could do on the court, I also feel like they value how well you gel with the team and what you bring to the locker room in that aspect. And Cam Payne, when he got it going, man, and especially with his playoff experience, let's see what he do in his playoffs. I really believe if he has a solid playoffs, he's back next year for real.
And that's Mikal's buddy for real. That's McCall's buddy for
exactly.
real, bro.
That's why I can't knock what he did. I didn't like the way he did it, but I understood the schematics behind it. So, you know, it's like me saying I hate Kev all the time, but I still hit him up every Friday morning. I get it. But he did it kind of gully. And to a guy like Tibbs who, man, I don't know. Come on, Mikel. You ain't missed a game since junior high school. And now all of a sudden you bitching about minutes. I don't know. Yeah.
But, you know, even Monica McNutt, she spoke to it. Yeah, I mean, she was like, yo, I feel like this statement was taken out of context.
I agree.
Because she was like, yo, it was not more like, yo, he's running us into the ground. It's more like, hey, we got capable people on that could get minutes. You feel me? And, you know, I think most Knicks fans do agree, you know what I mean, with that sentiment. Like, yo, we do got some capable people. Like, they need burn, and we need them to get into some kind of rhythm. And again, that's why, you know, you hate to say that somebody's injury is a blessing in disguise, but I felt like that's what it was with JB. It was a blessing in disguise. It gave other guys the time to get on the court and get comfortable getting a rhythm. And you see that, like, it personified in Landry Shamet. You know what I mean? You see that because before that, he wasn't in a great rhythm. He was getting sporadic minutes. He wasn't in great rhythm. JB go down, his minutes go up, he starts shooting the lights out. You feel me?
Same thing with OG.
Yeah, same thing with OG. Same thing with Mikal for a stretch.
But let's be honest, we knew Shamet could shoot. It was, at first he was hurt. Then it was the minutes thing and minutes gonna suffer, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? At the end of the day, everything happens for a reason. Right now, he's the Landry Shamet we thought we were getting in the offseason, right? So if we don't use him in the playoff, shame on us. That's all I can say. Because who's a better backup at the two? Well, I don't know. Duece slipped a little this year. Pure shooter, I would go with Shamet. Defense, maybe Duece.
But we be running Shamet at the 3.
Yeah.
That's not bad either. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's usually Cam, Duece, and Shamet.
That's not a bad rotation. I just think the people that were going a little far, going too overboard, folks, it was almost like they weren't watching what we were watching. We started the season in the hole with injuries. So, yes, we was going to run a 7-man, maybe an 8-man rotation because we didn't have that many other pieces. Don't give me Tyler Kolek and
our bench was the hurt
exactly.
guys.
Don't give me these names that you're just throwing out to say a name because you think they should be playing. I look at this, whether you like it or not, I look at Tibbs as a professional coach. If Kev could help Tibbs, I damn sure know Tibbs would have him in there. We don't get to see what goes on in practice and the guys' study habits and work habits. We don't get to see that. It's easy for us to say, yeah, Kev should be playing because they're running Dominic in the ground. But is Kev going to give us? But now that we're healthy, you notice the rotations have changed, right, guys? We're going 8-9-man rotation. Now, we all know in the playoffs, the rotations shrink for every team, not just Thibodeau. So we'll see how it works out. But we got a good blueprint, folks. With the people we got coming off the bench right now, we got a pretty good blueprint.
So, Dom, to your point, right? When you talk about Tyler Kolek, right? And I feel like I agree. If they can help, Tibbs is going to have him in the game. But I also feel like Tibbs kind of protects players that has something. I feel he did that for Duece. I feel like if he didn't give Duece that time to develop and bring him up through the G League and all that other shit, we might not be getting his Duece. You know, his confidence is up because he was allowed to develop. And I feel like he's doing the same thing with the likes of Tyler Kolek, the likes of Pack 'em Up Dadier. You know what I mean? Those guys getting time to develop and be pros for real.
Right.
Even McCullough, like what I saw from him today, I really liked.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
He was hustling. He was rebounding.
McCullough's a guy that you got to watch out for. I feel like not maybe not this year, but further down the line, that's a guy that you keep an eye on.
When you think of the young players, because the knock is always going to be the knock on Tip. Tibbs turned Nate Robinson into Nate Robinson, Derrick Rose into Derrick Rose.
Yo, that's a fact.
Jalen Brunson into Jalen Brunson. I mean, when it comes to point
Julius
guards,
Randle into Julius
I'm
Randle.
just saying point guards, Kevin. He has taken point guards and elevated their game. So when we keep going with this narrative, as I say, against Thibodeau, sometimes the cream is not always on the top. Come on, I just gave you 3 names of point guards that he made better. Whether they were good, like Brunson was good. He wasn't this good. We all know what happened to Nate Robinson. He just skyrocketed. And you look back and you think to yourself, like the kid Tyler Kolek. Got nothing against this kid. He might become the next Mark Price. I don't know. But he just ain't. Who is he? This is what's wrong with Knicks fans. Whose spot is he taking? Right. Who's he bumping out the rotation?
And another thing they need to be saying about Tibbs, they should start calling him the career year maker.
Because exactly.
How many players since they came to the Knicks that had career years? Let's go down the list, shall we? Let's start Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, Isaiah Hartenstein, Josh Hart, DiVincenzo.
Quickly. McBride,
R.J. Barrett. Yo,
Carl Anthony Towns.
Twice.
Well, he had 2 chances with Towns, so we'll give him that.
And I think under Tibbs, Cat had his best careers
in Minnesota and here. Yes.
Both times.
Yeah, and to think he's a guy, if I'm not mistaken, without looking it up, had back-to-back 35-game and 55-game seasons. So he, you got to give Towns a little credit. Yes, he's probably the worst defensive player since who knows who. But when you think about where he came from as far as staying on the court, remember, if I'm not mistaken, again, I think his first 2 or 3 seasons, he played 82 games. And he went totally left after that, but he played 3 82-game seasons. And that wasn't with Thibodeau. So, when you talk about the things Thibodeau don't do, like I love the X's and O's. You don't hear nothing about Eric Spoelstra being Marlon the Magician no more, do you? Yeah, I'm just saying.
Facts.
Yeah, he ain't Marlon the Magician no more, right? Now it's Mike Malone. Everybody's talking Mike Malone now. Hey, do you realize I had to go over this with people? First of all, he had more losing seasons than Thibodeau. The only time he got out the second round, because everybody says Thibodeau can't get out the second round, the only time he got out the second round is the year they won the championship. Take Joker off of that team, and Mike Malone is Jeff Van Gundy.
Oh, shit.
I'm just saying. A good coach with no ring.
Yeah.
Tell me Joker don't make that much of a difference.
No, that's a big fact. No,
exactly. I'm sorry.
And the big difference with Tibbs is, again, I'm the career year maker. Everybody game elevates when they come to play with Tibbs. Like, and you can say what you want to say, but that's a fact. It is a fact. He gets the most out of his players. He gets the absolute most out of his players. Like, look, even if you go to Precious Achiuwa wasn't balling this way when he was in Toronto. He wasn't doing the things you seen him do today and in previous dates. He wasn't getting consistent posters and coming in when needed and giving you 11 rebounds and double games when our starting centers are hurt. He wasn't doing none of that in Toronto. He was an okay role player. right? He was an okay role player, and he elevated his game a little bit more under Tibbs. And you could say that for a lot. Look, Josh Hart, dog. Josh Hart was good. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. He was good.
Not this good.
But come on, dog.
Not this good, T. Here's another funny thing I heard on ESPN with the talking heads. Well, you know, Anna, when players leave the Knicks or they leave Thibodeau, they always have something to say. I never heard nobody say nothing negative about him.
No,
never.
Not one.
Never.
And even the so-called riff with Obi, not even Obi said a word.
Right. But see, Obi, let's be honest, guys, that's another one. I didn't want to bring him up with the RJ Barrett. He's another one that Tibbs gave a chance.
Yeah,
you know, Tibbs gave all of them a chance. Obi Toppin. Remember, people, we took a beating by the so-called narrative creators that, Quentin Grimes. Remember, we gave him the keys to the number 2 guard. Remember?
Yes.
He got taken away.
They gave him the keys, but he couldn't start the car. So what are we supposed to do?
He couldn't drive shift. He couldn't drive standard.
Exactly. We gave him the keys to the car, and he couldn't drive it. So what are you supposed to do, Tom Thibodeau?
But
keep throwing him out there?
Even Quentin Grimes, you heard what he said about what he missed most about the Knicks was playing for Tibbs.
Yes. But see, the people threw him under the bus. It wasn't Thibodeau. Thibodeau gave him the keys. So I'm pretty sure somewhere in that scenario, guys, Quentin Grimes being a man, a grown man, a professional, he had to be saying, you know what, Anna, you were right. I don't deserve to start. Because guess what? Just like he said, when he left, did he badmouth the Knicks? Did he badmouth Thibodeau? No. He took his medicine and he moved on. He's a good shooter, guys. Don't get me wrong. He just couldn't shoot for us. Sad as that is, I mean, we thought we had a diamond in the rough, but he just never panned out. And it happens, you know, it actually happens sometimes. God bless him. Played pretty well in Philly. And honestly, he's not Kevin Knox. You know, Kevin Knox, how that guy's still in the NBA is a mystery to me, but
And how people still want him to come back on the Knicks is wild.
You gotta be kidding. I'll smack somebody in their face. I hear that shit. Get out of here.
The funniest thing about Kevin Knox is I've never in my years of watching basketball seen an NBA player with no moves. Ooh. Like he don't got no moves, no bag non-existent. Like I was like, yo, like he don't got no kind of crossover, in and out, nothing. Left, right, shoot threes. That's it.
He had no motor, T. Not only did he have no motor, I got burned because check this out. You take him, because I think Phil Jackson said he's a good kid. But you passed up on Michael Porter Jr. Now we know Porter Jr. was hurt, but again, Michael Porter Jr. was one of the most highly touted high school players, most highly touted college players. So you take Michael Porter Jr., you let him sit on the bench for a year while he recovers, and he learns the game. But we took Kevin Knox, who we sat on the bench, tried to play, never learned the game, never developed the motor, and look at Michael Porter Jr. today. I'm just saying, yeah, we took Kevin Knox over Michael Porter Jr. That was some shit there, but because he was a good kid.
I remember that. And we took them over Mikal Bridges and Miles.
Yeah, both Bridges.
Both Bridges.
Mikal and Miles.
Yep.
How did that work out?
Yes, that's a fact.
What is a fool? Yo, don't forget, y'all, press like for your favorite panel. Sharing is always caring.
Well, we coming up on 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yo,
I gotta ask.
Every time we're down,
I gotta ask C before I go. T, are we worried about the Yankees yet?
Oh, I'm a little concerned.
Oh, yo, that's crazy.
Ada actually brought this up.
No,
so
listen. Listen, right? One night we was gonna talk Yankees, and I was like, nah, I think that we should wait for Dom to pull up. And we could talk Yankees, and we did wait. We did wait. But,
Anna told me y'all were gonna do it, but she never told me nothing else after that.
Nah,
so.
we got
because
life happens, and everybody gets caught up doing their own thing sometimes, and things happen, but you here now, so yeah, let's do that.
I'm not gonna say. I look at it like this, folks. In baseball, I measure success series by series.
Right.
And I think we're not doing that good. I mean, we lost a series to San Francisco,
Arizona,
Detroit, Arizona. So we're falling. But I will say that we still got a couple of pieces we got to put together. And this spot starting lineup we got with pitching is a little shaky right now. But we're going to get Gill back.
Mm-hmm. And Smith, right? Clark Smith.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe one of y'all can answer this question. I couldn't understand the move to get that closer when I thought Weaver earned that spot last year. And so far this year, you put this guy in the close. Come on, guys. I got to say this. I got to give a promo. God bless Amazon. They saved me $120 because, you know, they took over MLB. So you buy the MLB ticket through them now. And they saved me. So I'm watching every game, and I'm thinking every time they put this guy in the close, I'm watching the game like this. Oh, shit. What's he going to do now?
Well, I think the reason of that trade was to get a setup man for Weaver.
But they did the reverse, Kev.
Yeah.
Because he was a closer in Milwaukee. Remember?
He was.
And what's his name? The guy on the Mets, the polar bear. What's his name? Alonso. He hits the home run against him to knock the Brewers out the playoffs. We go get him, and I'm thinking, okay, he's still a good closer, so they say. I didn't study this guy when he pitched for Milwaukee. But I'm thinking again, I watched what Weaver did last year, and I'm like, hey, is he growing up to be our closer? And you go get this guy, and every time they bring him in, folks, I'm like, oh, man, shit.
He's getting crushed.
Can he get it out?
Yeah, he's getting crushed.
When you're pulling your closer, that's scary.
Yeah, I
don't think he was the closer.
Pitching is my concern. Yeah, I mean, and
excuse me, sorry.
You know, it's still early, so I can't say that I'm all the way locked in. Yeah, I mean, I'm not all the way locked in yet. But when I do tune in, I'm like, yo, what is happening here? What's the do-rag kid name? I always forget his.
Stroman.
Marcus Stroman.
He's hurt again.
Stroman gives me a headache.
He just got hurt.
Yeah, he did. He gives me a headache. Stroman for sure gives me a headache watching him play baseball.
I don't know why he's still a Yankee.
And I always defended him. God bless him.
He's trash.
I always looked at him, guys. If you're down and out, you got a spot starter that can give you 5 innings. But
he can't give us one.
He can't even do that no more. Yeah. but here's the funny thing, guys. The Yankees have. What did I say last year? Y'all remember when me and T was talking Yankees? There's gonna come a time that we put Jazz in his natural position. Where's he playing now? He's playing second base.
Second base, yeah.
So we kind of sewed up our outfield with Bellinger, and we're gonna give what's his name a shot, Dominguez, and then you put Judge back in right field. So we kind of sort of sewed up our defense. Goldsmith at first. So we did that, and I think our hitting again is. Chicks love the long ball, and the Yankees love supplying the long ball for the chicks. We don't hit the long ball. Here we are.
But you know what the one thing, Dom, that I was gonna ask you. I was gonna ask you because I was talking to Fraz about this the other day, and I'm like, yo, I'm so confused because you got Jazz, right? He's a guy with speed. Who could steal bases?
Why ain't he batting leadoff?
What? There you go. Yeah, why is he not batting leadoff?
The knock on him, believe it or not, is his hitting. I didn't understand that because of his makeup, his long ball prowess is better than his hitting prowess, and that's why he fits in so good with the Yankees. I think the guy's only maybe a 240 lifetime hitter, something off the wall. He's not a very good hitter. And then again, guys, baseball has changed. They want their best players batting first and second, so that when the lineup goes around, they're getting more at bats. That's the going thing. You got Ohtani batting second, or Mookie Betts batting. You know, it's the game has evolved. With Aaron Judge was batting second for how many years? Now they got him batting third. Good deal. I mean, I think I just like the idea that, believe it or not, as bad as the pitching has looked, the defense is looking pretty good.
Yeah,
you got Bellinger, Judge, so their defense is pretty good. It's just that, like T said, you can't avoid the elephant in the room. That pitching is, I mean, I'm watching guys, trust me, I get locked in as soon as the first pitch of the season starts. So that's like where I juggle them and the Yankees, because the Yankees and the Mets, Yankees and the Knicks. And I'm more of a Yankee fan than anything else. So I stayed, but I'm just starting to, I couldn't wait to talk to y'all. Anna's the one that started me up with this shit. I'm like, oh, damn, Anna's talking about we should talk Yankees. I'm like, oh, no, not now. Why now?
Because we were doing a show when they were winning, and we were about to talk, and then Kev and T-Son were like, no, we need Dom. And I'm like, I'm going to hit him up.
Yeah, I will say this, guys, and Anna. We're still going to win the American League East. Mm-hmm. And we're going to have to. With that. We're going to have to, because I don't see nobody from the American League East making the wild card.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, Dom, but I think the Yankees make a move at the deadline to get another bat.
I think they should try to get another arm, but hey, but you know what? Again, we got to pump our brakes, because getting Gil, how they say his name, I call him Gil. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Getting him back is like making a trade at the trade deadline without mortgaging the farm. Yeah, right, you're getting a quality pitcher back. I'll tell you what, folks, I thought that injury was worse than Cole.
Wow, really?
Because this guy's got that potential where we know who Garrett Cole is. We know what he can do. But this kid was steady. You know, come on, guys. If you watch this kid pitch, he's a professional pitcher. Let's just keep it a buck. He hasn't been around that long, so we. But when the Yankees lost him, I was like, oh shit. Now what? You know, now where do we turn? And there's not many pitchers out there, guys, that could just step in and be, you know, the Mets taught us that lesson when they went and got them two old timers and then got rid of them halfway through the season. There's not a lot of quality pitchers out there. So who do you got in the farm system that you could bring up? Oof, it's early.
It's tough.
It's early.
I mean,
so I'm gonna pump my brakes. You know, it's early. I still believe they'll win the American League East.
Yeah, I'm concerned, not worried. Yeah, I mean, like,
and at the end of the day, guys, I don't see who's that much better than us for us not to repeat as AL champs. Even with the injuries and the suspect arms, I'm just looking around the league and I'm saying, well, they're like that, they're like that, they're like that. So when our pieces come together, again, guys, I just commend what they did defensively. We were not this good defensively last year.
No, that's a fact.
No way,
I agree with it.
Because remember, Rizzo missed umpteen games. And
then we was back and forth with Ben Rice and
his
what's
name
the
is
name?
Ben Earth.
Yeah, but I tell you what, though, Aaron Boone better get his head out his ass with that young man. Ben Rice, because he could hit.
Ben Arroz.
Yeah,
Ben Arroz. I was yo, you fucked me up. Yo, I swear to God, you fucked me up. I was like, wait, who?
Because you know he speaks
English.
Maybe
That's hilarious. Yo, that's hilarious. I was thinking to myself, I'm like, wait a minute, Ben, what?
Maybe I'm just stuck on him, but
I like that kid too. Yeah,
I don't know, guys. I mean, he got that swing. Matter of fact, he got that Yankee Stadium swing to begin with. I mean, let's keep it a buck. He bats from that side of the plate, and he's got that smooth swing. And then again, you go get Goldschmidt, I didn't know he was that old.
No, and listen, I think that he's been our best hitter, other than Aaron Judge. He's been our best hitter.
Player.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look at it, I don't know when's the last time this happened either. So it's been the Yankees have 4 MVPs on that roster.
Yeah, Aaron Judge,
Goldschmidt, Bellinger, Judge, and Stanton. 4 MVPs on one team.
Yeah,
I didn't know what's the name bloomed so late. Goldschmidt. I think he's like 38 years old.
Yeah.
He's
and I think Stanton is still coming back.
He better, because I'll tell you what. People laughed and joked about him, but I'll tell you what, he puts a little fear in that line.
Nah, he does.
Let's just keep it real. You know, you can't play shortstop and not be, almost on the grass because you're afraid he's going to hit a line drive and blow your glove off. So we're missing him. Yes, we are.
I'm glad that you talked. I'm glad that you mentioned that because, a lot of people say Soto, but really the person that actually carried us throughout that playoff was Stanton.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
We haven't even talked since Soto went to the Mets.
Right.
I'll say this and I'll let it go. I don't hate nobody. The one thing I do commend him for. Remember, guys, he said I'm going to the highest bidder.
Right.
He put that out there. I'm going to the highest bidder, and by golly, but I didn't know his family was going to get a clothing allowance, a suite, and all this shit. But again. He went to the highest bidder. But I will say this. The Mets done invested almost $1 billion, and they're still the 3rd best team in their own division.
Right, yo, that's crazy. And the thing with the Soto deal is when it happened, my dad is a big time Met fan from the Bronx. But from the Bronx, let me tell you. From the fucking Bronx. I don't know how that works. Right? I don't know how that works, but he does it, right? So I tell him, I'm like, I'm not going to celebrate this trade until he signs the contract. I'm not going to do it to myself. So when he did sign, it didn't bother me as much. It didn't bother me at all, bro. At all. I was like, okay, goodbye.
You know how I always look at that, Kev? See, I don't care who comes and goes. And maybe I'm, again, old school. We're still the Yankees. And we are gonna be the Yankees. Right. And funny you mentioned that, Kev. I'll close with this. I was a young man playing PAL baseball. My mother says, "Man, I see you really like this baseball stuff." I'm like, "Yeah, Mom, I'm like 8 years old." She said, with that face, that old Italian lady face, "What team do you like?" Now, I grew up in the Bronx. So did my mother. I remember my mother telling me stories about listening to the Yankees on the radio. Yankees just came. I didn't even know baseball that well. Yankees just came out. Like, I'm a Yankee fan. And I thought to myself years later, what would she have said if I said I'm a Mets fan?
Oh, man.
Y'all might not know me right now, but
yo, you gotta understand, yo. You gotta be there to the kind of conversations me and my pops be having, man. It's hilarious. I swear to you. You guys, we would have you guys cracking up. He'll leave the show. Something.
Yo, Kev.
Yo.
Uncle said he from the Bronx. But
yeah. Yo, that's crazy. See what I mean? I don't know how that works, bro. It's confusing to me,
but the
bro.
thing with that is he roots for both teams. He fuck with the Yankees. He's a Yankee fan too. But if you had to ask him to pick one, he's gonna pick the Mets.
Now,
shit, my father hate the Yankees, kid.
I am a Yankee fan. I'm gonna be honest, probably because of my travels. I am a Yankee fan that don't hate the Mets. I do not hate the Mets. Like in 1986, I'm in Germany watching the World Series at 3:00 in the morning, and when the Mets started winning, everybody was, "Oh, I thought you was a Yankee fan." But y'all are the same ones that would have bit my head off because a New York team lost. Now all of a sudden I'm a Yankee fan. I know I'm a Yankee fan. but I still got to represent my city. Like, y'all would throw me under the bus. When I don't know if y'all were old enough. When the Mets went down 2-0, I couldn't go to work. Now, what happened to them Mets? I'm a Yankee fan. Oh, but New York. I'm like, oh, see this shit? Y'all don't play fair. Please. But I am not that guy. I do not hate the Mets. I don't like them. Don't get me wrong. I can't hate them because of, always representing your city everywhere I went. But they're still the third best team. When Atlanta gets their act together, the Mets are still the third best team in the National League East. Atlanta, Philadelphia, Mets. Mm-hmm. So I wish them well, all that money they spent, but I don't think Soto will play that many years in Queens. I'm pretty sure he will opt out. And
2 minor league teams later.
Yeah. But I give this guy credit, though, fellas. If y'all watched his career, every step of the way, he bet on himself.
Yeah, he does.
Everywhere he went, he bet on himself. The Nationals, the Padres, the Yankees, now the Mets. He bet on himself. And every time he did, he won. So, God bless him. He's a good talent. I am not going to say great, because when he didn't sign with the Mets, Met fans came out the woodwork. I was like, when's the last time he won a Gold Glove? Or MVP? Tell you. When did he win the MVP?
They couldn't tell you.
Yeah, because he hasn't. So, I mean, yeah, he's a very good player, but he didn't reach that plateau of a Judge, even a Mike Trout. He's just a very good ball player. But again, research it. He's never won a Gold Glove. He's never won an MVP. He's never won a batting title. So, $1 billion later, God bless the Mets, man. I mean, they still ain't better than the Yankees. So. But hey, I appreciate talking about our Yankees.
Yo, I'm about to skedaddle, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Me too. Yeah, me too.
So we shutting down.
Thank y'all for having me again.
Before we finish, y'all want to give predictions for Knicks Detroit?
We're gonna do a whole show about that sometime this week.
Yeah, facts. Actually, we'll bring Don back.
Yeah,
so that way he could pull up and all that.
TBA.
What does T call me? A friend of the family or some shit?
Friend of the show.
An affiliate.
Just let me know, guys. I'm all in. Trust me. I ain't got nothing to do.
Appreciate you, Don. Well,
thanks, fellas.
So boom, let me do my 1-2-1-2 before we get up out of here. If you hit that like button, if you haven't done so already, go to the YouTube, subscribe, hit the notification bell, set it to all. Sharing is always caring. And go click on that Shopify link at the bottom. I just ordered myself a whiskey glass. It should be here on Monday, on Tuesday. I can't wait. My Knicks-ish whiskey glass. I can't wait to stun on y'all. You know what I mean? With my Knicks-ish whiskey glass. Yo.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. But, thanks everybody who pulled up tonight, and we will definitely let y'all know when we go live. If you wouldn't have to wait for us to tell you if you press the notification bell. That's number one, right?
Pretty much.
Facts.
But we will get at y'all, let y'all know when we do our Detroit Pistons pre-cap. Fraz,
hit the outro.
Mic check 1, 2. Tell these rappers I'm outside, get them start acting up. Turning hoes to housewives and cleaning the ratchet up. Do it off from boom back to melody rap. If they gon' put you in the box, then you might as well pack it up. Bars having bars, no cap, I'm Attica, you a precinct. How y'all competing when y'all just decent? Your rhyme efficiency's like logic simplicity. Don't tell me how much the